right, welcome back everybody to another edition of Dollar Bin Digging Finds. This is the article and video where I'm just showing off those cheap pickups that I've had over this last week. I've kind of expanded it a little bit beyond the original just Dollar Bin Finds. So we're also talking about some cheap books, just books that are only costing me a couple of bucks in those back issues, as well as those Dollar Bin books, just to kind of spice things up and add a little bit more to the pile, just to show you some books that are easily affordable, the things that I'm picking up, and you should just keep an eye out for it too. Hopefully you're enjoying the content, so please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything that's dropping on the channel that's hitting at least once a day, if not more than once a day at this point. And make sure you're checking out the article over on comicbookinvest.com as well, as I've got my $2 bin articles basically running there for quite some time now. So hopefully you're enjoying that. If you're really interested, you can also check out the merch on the top of my page. You can see I'm rocking my new Dollar Bin Digging shirt. This one's from TeePublic. So TeePublic and Teespring are the two that I signed up with to get a bunch of different stuff. I got glasses, I got shirts, I got pins, I got magnets. I don't know, it's just fun to me. So if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. Also, make sure you check out the giveaway that I've got going on. I recently hit 800 subscribers, so I have a giveaway going on right now. So you just make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and you check out the details on the top of my page to get how you basically enter. One of the prizes is one of those sold out cbsi variant sets for Nottingham 1. So if you want to get a free copy, or free set, I should say, not a copy, free set, here's your chance. So that being said, just hang on for a second and I'll be right back to show off all the books that I've been wasting my money on this week. All right, so let's see what I have in the pile today. As I said, some of these are going to be dollar books and others are going to be books that just cost me a few bucks more. I'll tell you when the books didn't come out of a dollar bin and if I paid a little bit more for them as we come across them. But the way I do like to segregate them is into kind of categories and into kind of like topics, just to kind of, keep the flow going so I know what I'm talking about. And my first group is something I don't usually talk about a lot in my pickups because I don't pick up a lot of them, and that's DC books. Yeah, that's right. I do collect the random DC book. Not many, but some. Things that catch my eye. Things like reprints. I'm a big fan of reprints. So when I see these Silver Age classics, that's that classic Green Arrow, Green Lantern, book for $1, I'm grabbing it. Yeah, I didn't bag it and board it yet. It's fine. It's in decent shape. Again, I just love those reprints. It's just a cheap way to get a classic book, and some of these do all right if you want to flip them, if that's what you're looking to do. So always keep an eye out for these Silver Age classics. The Millennium editions out of DC are also reprints. They do Essential Vertigo. They do some of the reprints there, and then the Marvel ones, as I'm sure you know as well. They have those silver bordered like the Marvel masterpieces and all the True Believers and all that stuff. I like the reprints. I think they're a fun little book, easy way to get some hard to find and impossible to afford keys. Outside of that, I also grabbed from the dollar bins just a small little short run of Swamp Things. Yep. Anytime I see a Swamp Thing book, just to make sure that I have them in my Alan Moore pile, I go and grab them. I do have a list of things that I'm missing, like, to kind of fill out that run, but I don't even refer to the list because it doesn't matter. For $1, I'm basically going to buy any Swamp Thing book that I see that has Alan Moore writing it, because it doesn't matter. I'll just get it, just to be on the safe side. So, as you can see, I grabbed 57, 58, and again, the read is the main driving force behind these. I know I've talked about picking up Swamp Thing books before, 59, and then the last one I got out of this little batch, little run, I guess, is 60. So these are the dollar books that I grabbed for DC. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I got a couple more. I got a couple more. A couple more that I've talked about before because I grab them every time that I see them, and I almost miss them. J.G. Jones, Final Crisis, Supergirl. Big fan of this cover. Love this Supergirl cover. Definitely one of my favorites. Next to that, the Adam Hughes Legion of Superheroes variant, but this is one you can find for cheap. This J.G. Jones Final Crisis, as well as this one, this Middleton. Love this Middleton. This was one of my first dollar bin digging picks when I started this article series a couple of years ago now. This is 43 from that Supergirl run. Just a fantastic, gorgeous Middleton cover for Supergirl. So every time I see it, I buy it. Every time. I know it's not that expensive. It doesn't do like, it's not like it's a $50 book that I found for $1. Yeah, you basically can kind of get cover price of like $8. Like it's not a huge book to find, but I just love that cover, and I just think everybody should have one just for $1. So if I see it for $1, scooping it up. And those are the DC books that I grabbed for this week. Now we're moving on to Marvel Studios. Broad category, I know, but I didn't know how else to break this down. Now, a lot of this stuff is related to Disney Plus and Marvel movie, speculation, I guess, content, tie-ins, all that fun stuff. So that's what we've got going on in this next batch of books. The first one being, I guess just because it's a Scarlet Witch book, we'll just say WandaVision is the reason why I bought it. But I just love this David Aja cover. And I actually paid cover price for this. This was just in a back issue bin for a cover price. So I paid cover price for this Scarlet Witch. Which issue is this? I'm sorry. I should have looked 6. So this is issue 6. I like this kind of like herringbone pattern of the Scarlet Witch. Face is just kind of linking up and twisting and turning. It definitely gives that WandaVision vibe. And I really like all the covers on this series. Definitely, if you can find any of them, I recommend picking them up for cover or less. So, luck would have it, I was able to find one of these this week in the dollar bins. And this is Avengers 269. I was looking for 267, as I'm sure everybody else was, with the first Council of Kangs, I think, is in that one, which is really spiked that book up to crazy heights. To go from like a $1 book to like 60 to 80 bucks is kind of crazy. But I looked, but I didn't find any this past week. I only checked a couple spots, but not lucky. But I did find this one. 269, which is also doing all right with this little battle between Kang and Immortus, who basically the same kind of person, or variants, I guess we'll call them now, based on the Loki show. But definitely a good book and another one to keep an eye out for. So if you can't find that 267, keep an eye out for 269. It's right, it should be right there too. Shout out to my buddy Jason. Shout out to my buddy Jason Shaw for doing that, connecting the dots. He reposted and updated his Kang article that mentions like that 267 as well as this 292 Avengers book as well. This one you can see I paid $3 for it. So it's in a back issue bin priced, but it was only $3, so I scooped it up for $3 to give it a shot. I believe this also has I forget the different Council of Kangs or Kang impersonators or it's another Kang book that is of interest. Check out Jason's article over on comicbookevents.com for more details than what I'm blabbering on here about. But 292, another good book, right? That's the right number, right? Yep, 292, $3. So $3, I'll give it a shot. And as I shouted out myself, because I talked about this on Dollar Bin Digging a couple of weeks ago, back in June, before we had all the news, it was just my random speculation that Kang was coming sooner than we think, and just happy I was right. So I grabbed a few of these Avengers number 2. A couple of these are part of my 800 subscriber giveaway, and then the third one will just be an extra one to hold for a little bit, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'll try to sell it, but still, cover price or less. Grab these apart from the fantastic Alex Ross cover. As I noted initially when I brought this book up a few weeks ago, it now just has a little bit of interest, I guess, because you get all these different versions of Kang, and we don't know exactly what we're going to get out of Kang going forward with this Kang War storyline being actually a pretty good story to start off this Avengers run. You get some Del Mundo art on the inside of these Alex Ross covers, so if you find them cheap, definitely scoop them up beyond just this issue 2. I'd say anything from 1 through 6 is so you can get that storyline is probably a good grab. And a couple of those covers are pretty cool, Kang covers as well. This is already kind of full, so we're going to take these guys off the rack to continue on with our Marvel Studios spec. Another book that I just recently talked about, and when I see them, I buy them. She-Hulk 4. So there, they're out there. Just check those dollar bins, check those cheap bins. She-Hulk 4. Again, I picked this, as other people have also mentioned, because the possibilities that we get, Matt Murdock showing up on the show in some form. This is the first time they actually cross paths in a legal sense, as She-Hulk's looking to Matt for some legal advice on one of her cases. It's kind of cool, interesting storyline. I like this run on She-Hulk, and I think it might be one that they kind of tie back to on her show a little bit. So definitely keep an eye on it. But for $1. Something to keep an eye out for. Paid a couple of bucks for this. This is also mentioned in my She-Hulk article. Elephant Man. Renamed Behemoth at some point. But She-Hulk villain I'd love to see on the show. I just think it would be fun. Just would be fun. A giant, super strong elephant man. And no, not Snout Spout from He-Man, Masters of the Universe, but Elephant Man from the Marvel Universe. Another one. Grab there. She-Hulk 100. Tell just keep an eye out for it. Paid a couple of bucks for that as well. She-Hulk 100. It, again, ties into some stuff that we might possibly see onto that She-Hulk show. Things, again, I brought up on a recent dollar bin digging video. So check out my video series or the articles on comicbookinvest.com for more info. Angela, Asgard's Assassin #1. Pretty cool book, and one that people have been specking on for a little while, so keep an eye out for this. I think I paid cover for this, or maybe less. It was cover or less for this, and I can't remember which box I pulled that from, but this has the first appearance of Sarah, who could potentially be the first transgender character in the Marvel Universe. Maybe we see her in some form in Thor, Love and Thunder. It's a definite possibility to me, her or Angela. So, I don't know. And plus, it's just a good little book to have. I just think it's kind of cool, Neil Gaiman Spawn character coming to the Marvel Universe is just an interesting concept in and of itself. So, I don't know. I like the 2 Angela series that they've had so far in the Marvel Universe. So, check those out. And this is the first one of the first one, which will wrap me up with, I'm not sure if I've picked this one up before or not. It's possible. But this is a second print for Secret Invasion issue #2. I just find these second prints interesting, and if I can find them for super cheap, I just buy them, especially when they're in great shape like this one. This one has that cardstock type of cover. It's good spine, no color breaks, so definitely looks pretty good. So I scooped it up. So just one of those things. Second print, never know what could happen. Rarity could drive a lot of books to go and spike in price. So just in case, I'll grab them. Plus, it's kind of cool cover. And speaking of Secret Invasion, I'm going to shift over to things people have been talking about with Loki and the possibilities for Secret Wars. Not the original Secret Wars series per se, but possibly the second Secret Wars series. And I do like the ideas that we could be touching upon that at some point with all these different variants and multiverses and Multiverse of Madness and Quantum Mania and all the possibilities we could be getting over the next phase or phases of the Marvel Universe. So Secret Wars is something that the Russo brothers said that they would love to adapt, and I got to imagine that Disney would like to get them back on board to do another grand Avengers movie at some point. Not anytime soon. We're talking a few years down the line, but it could happen. So if it's possibly going to happen, keep an eye out for this stuff kind of now, because Emperor God Doom is awesome, and that would be a fantastic look on screen. The white, the armor, just be gorgeous. It'd be a gorgeous look on screen. So start looking at that now is my recommendation. So I grabbed this variant for issue #1. I just grab variants sometimes that are just odd or unfamiliar to me. And this one was a Dynamic Forces one. This COA, actually has a COA back here, says it's one of 15,000 copies. So there's a lot of these, but still, I think I paid like $7 for this thing or $5. I can't remember. They have a variant sale at this shop a lot of times. So definitely just a few bucks. So I was grabbing it for those prices. Also grabbed, again, another issue 1 for Secret Wars, but this is the comic exposure variant. Again, these are things I don't see all the time, so I'm just going to grab them. You can find them, for decent prices on eBay. Not too expensive, but yeah, you got to pay shipping. These I didn't have to pay shipping for. And they're right in front of me, and I was like, interesting, going to grab them. I think we don't get Emperor God Doom until the second issue of the run, but I did grab a variant for issue #2, another comic exposure. I mean, this is hitting that, Face the Tiger, hit the jackpot kind of vibe, but with the wedding, and I'm not sure who the artist is on this. It looks a bit like a Delato. It is Delato. I think that's his signature down below. So pretty cool to get a Delato. And then I grabbed 2 variants for issue 8. I don't think this is an incentive, this first one. And I think this is a Saya cover. I just like the Sue Richards and the kids. Definitely a cool look. I still think when we get the Fantastic Four into the Marvel Universe, we're probably going to get the family. I don't think they're going to start young. They could, and we might have to wait on the family, but I just feel like the kids are coming quickly to give us a different vibe from things we've seen before in the Marvel Universe. So that's my first issue 8 that I grabbed, and then the final book that I have for today, and final issue 8 from that Secret Wars run, is I get the 1 in 25 also for issue 8, because I really dig this Doom cover. Just the mask lighting up. It's just Cool look. Definitely a cool look. So that's what I grabbed. That's the stuff I spent my money on this past week. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you found some of these books interesting and maybe intriguing. If you can find them, keep an eye out for them cheap. But who's to say what is going to happen going forward? And that's why it's called speculation. It's not called pay top of market. Do not pay top of market prices for a lot of these books because it's just not worth the gamble. I get it. FOMO is real. FOMO grabs a hold of you. You see a book, you want it, and you just want it right now. I have it. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not going to be one of the ones out there grabbing those Avengers books at those $60 to $80 highs as much as I might want them because it just doesn't make sense to do so. So try to hold, have some restraint. These books are still out there. Just be patient. And if you don't find them, honestly, it's not the end of the world. So that's just my 2 cents. I know that's probably not a popular opinion for somebody who's on a speculation site, but I'm just saying, don't waste all your money paying top of market. That's all. Look in those cheap boxes. Look for the cheap stuff. Try to be ahead of the curve buying cheap stuff, not paying what everybody else is buying, the hot books at top of market. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So that's my PSA for today. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you agree with that. If not, it's your money. You do what you like with it. But I'm just trying to help you guys out so you can stay and play in this game longer than most. That being said, thank you again for stopping by. Hopefully you like the content that I've got dropping on the channel and the articles that I'm writing for comicbookinvest.com. I'm having a hell of a time doing it, having a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. And yeah, check out my channel for more fun stuff as well as that giveaway and get yourself some free books. Thanks.